In Los Angeles, a big courtroom finale underway in the Phil Spector murder trial. The jury hearing closing arguments right now. The judge says the jury will get the case on Friday. Spector is accused of killing actress Lana Clarkson at his Hilltop mansion. His lawyers say the actress killed herself. Joining us to debate all of this, criminal defense attorney Monica Lindstrom and law professor at Washington and Lee University, Lawton Cummings. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you, John.
Monica, when the chauffeur, when Phil Spector's driver says he heard him come outside and say, "I think I just shot somebody," isn't that almost an open and shut case right from the start?
Well, the jury might see it as an open and shut case, but the jury has a lot of other things that they have to think about. This trial really hinges on one question: who put the gun in Lana's mouth? And that's what the jury is going to be trying to decide. And they might take that statement by Phil as an admission.
All right, but why, Lawton, why does a woman meet a guy, go to his house ostensibly for a drink, for a couple of hours, just a couple of hours after meeting him, and then decide that she's going to commit suicide right there in the lobby of his mansion?
Right. I think that the state has a really good chance of earning a conviction here. I think if the state focuses on three key pieces of evidence, one that you mentioned, the fact that Spector told his chauffeur that he had killed someone as he was holding a bloody gun in his hand, and secondly, we've heard lots of testimony that has shown that Spector has a bad habit of pointing guns at women as they're trying to leave, and she had her purse over her shoulder, which indicates she was trying to leave.
So you think they've proved their case?
I do.
Monica, I mean, if she was, what about that point? She's got her purse on her shoulder. Evidence is that it would suggest that she's trying to get out of there, and all of a sudden she winds up dead.
You know, the evidence that's been shown so far has her friends and colleagues talking about her background and her emotional state. She is a very disturbed woman. At least that's what the defense has proposed. She was upset about a breakup. She didn't have a good job. She was getting older. She couldn't get the same job. She was unstable. It's very possible that she went to his house not thinking of committing suicide, but then she just got more and more depressed, and this happened. Another thing about his statement coming out of the house to the chauffeur, we don't know what he meant by that. Maybe he was yelling at her, or he was criticizing her or something, not that he put a gun in her mouth. That's what the jury is going to have to decide. And I actually think that the defense did a pretty good job giving evidence about why Phil didn't do it, but Lana did.
So you don't think there's a conviction here, Monica?
I think the state's going to have a difficult time showing that he consciously disregarded her life.
Lawton, no blood on his hands.
Well, that's because he washed his hands, John, before the police got there. He washed his hands and wiped the gun clean. So we don't know whether he had gun residue on his hands or whether he had blood on his hands. But you know, the evidence has differed on her state of mind. But the evidence is uncontroverted that he has this habit of pointing guns at women. And pointing a loaded gun at someone shows a conscious disregard for human life. And he's guilty.
It is going to be an interesting case. We'll be watching certainly when the verdict comes in. Thank you very much, Monica Lindstrom and Lawton Cummings. Thank you.
Thank you, John.